All right, we should be.
I'm not being an annoying pain in the ass, right? Am I right?
No, you're great. We're also live again. Okay, we're back live.
Got a
If
tweet.
you're still in the original chat, just if you're still in the original chat, drop that in so people could jump over. I accidentally
Let me.
screwed it up, but I'm not. Might be.
No, unfortunately, my thing.
Yeah,
It,
no, I screwed that up. Okay.
here, I'll send out a new tweet anyway on top of yours. Why not?
All right, we get 3 watching now. We're catching back up. What an idiot. That actually wasn't my fault, believe that or not. I was doing nothing that time. That wasn't even like wasn't even any kind of like video change or anything. Very often it's resolution related.
Now, what's funny is that you have the component video selector in your white box, right?
Yes.
All I see on Discord is just the
Oh,
OBS signal.
wait. I forgot to start the virtual camera again. Hey, what's up, Monty? What's up, Wayne? Thanks for jumping back over. That one, I don't know what happened. Usually, it's a very clear indication of what happened. I changed the resolution. I knocked the power out of my router. Everything was just working, and then it wasn't. So that was weird. Wayne, why'd you stop using that one? Did you just upgrade to something better, or are you about to be like, that one set my kitchen on fire?
I feel like a numbnut because I had a manual Radio Shack component video selector with 5 inputs and 1 output. And I think I donated it to Goodwill or something like 12 years ago.
I mean, I think everybody's had all that stuff, and you never know what to keep and what not to keep. So now, I mean, I'm sure I don't need to say this, right? But I'm not trying to say that people should buy this instead of the G Comp or any of the other awesome options. I'm just saying, if you want something, if you only have 3 total devices, why would you need a G Comp? And certainly don't want to speak for Super G, but I can imagine you would probably be saying the same thing. Like, don't buy, you don't need that. Just buy a cheaper one. And also, like, what if you just want to get started and you're not really sure? Like, do I want to spend all this money? Is this a
That's
fad or
true.
is this something I'm going to be using forever? So, spending $20 and then you end up with a tool in your toolbox, why not? By the way, this is pretty funny. I don't know. I'm going to see if this could come out with, even though it's pretty bright in here.
Uh, Before you
Instruction
zoomed in,
manual, add
good
measure,
quality
good quality for electro circuit
circuit.
design. That always cracks me up.
Oh man, there's obviously since I work in manufacturing a lot, I get a lot of manuals from overseas factories. I don't want to offend anybody, so I'll just say overseas factories. And we're some of the English is always absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, I've worked with a few people before to help translations, and they were very appreciative, and I'm glad they were because it's like I don't think you realize how bad this is. You basically just told everybody don't buy this product because there's no telling what's going to happen with it. So all right, let's
Even some of the marketing copy, we've seen some like for endless enjoyment. You know, it's like it's crazy. I mean, we laugh. You know, it's a big world out there. Easy. I like number 2. Easy computer teach.
yeah. Well, I mean, as we've seen recently in the past couple months, even American companies have some of the dumbest marketing ideas I've ever seen in my life. So can't
That is
really
very.
can't really throw shade in one direction. By the way,
That is.
this is also that FDS key that I showed the video on. This is going to a YouTuber that will be doing a video on it. So because They are an expert at that, and I am not so much. So, all right. So let me grab this, and let me grab some set of the rectals and the RetroTink 4K, and we are going to see what we could do here. Um,
Did you set a set? Did you say a set of the rectals?
yeah, I very lovingly, like years ago, started calling the HD Retrovision cables HD Rectal Vision, and it kind of just stuck. It's just kind of what Zach and I have been calling them forever now, just because we're assholes and that's what we do. All
Uh,
right, so I'm gonna go in number 1 and 2 and out here, so that way we could surround this thing with video signals and see what happens. And I'm gonna do the Super Mario World test up in the blue sky to see if you could see it, and I'm also going to have a Nomad running at the exact same time to see if having that run would create interference.
and you're plugging this into the 4K, right?
Correct. If I can, the RCA
You-
connector in this prototype I think broke.
If you
Uh-oh.
want to, well, I don't know if how it shows up in yours, but you might want to move my window to the bottom right so that way people can see what you're doing.
Was it oh shit, how about that? Sorry everybody. There we go.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
So somebody keeps bringing up MSX quite a lot. I don't have any MSX contacts or expertise. So if you want to see that kind of content, you could definitely reach out on social media to the other RetroRGB contributors and just let them know that that's something that you'd want to see in the future. That's definitely possible. But I just, when I'm lucky enough to have some amazing contributors that could post articles on this stuff, but I myself, I've never even seen an MSX in person. So I'm going to be
Neither have I.
completely
It's one
useless
I've
to
always
you.
wanted to.
Wow, it's funny. I think I broke the Tink prototype, but I have an adapter, so we'll. I have
You
a
did
couple of
not.
adapters. I did the
You've been using
RCA
that thing
jack.
for months. How did you just break that now?
That's the one that just arrived.
Oh Lord.
So I was testing that other one in the 3D printed shell, like the just the top and bottom. Didn't actually have any. Oh, hey, this would actually be kind of fun. So I've been testing the one that I showed in the video that was just the top and bottom and it was open. And that's the one
Mhm.
I had this entire time. And then Mike just sent me this one so that I could show off the new case design. Let me message him about that. Just,
Now, how did it break?
I probably broke it.
Oh, but you're saying the case.
No, the RCA jack.
Oh. Maybe you unscrew it real quick, see if you can tell.
No, I'm not going to mess with it because this is a prototype that was, this is a prototype that was meant to be beat on. However, I do have
Ah,
component
there we
video
go.
input for the SCART port, which should be pretty easy to interface. And I also get to demo that you could run it this way. So you might be thinking, why would you want to run it this way? Why would you want to have this thing sticking off the side like this? You wouldn't. What you would want to end up doing though is taking something like this. So let's say you have a G-SCART switch and you have all SCART components except the Xbox, the original Xbox. You could actually get from Retro Gaming Cables a SCART cable that's actually a component video cable, but with a SCART on the end of it. So then you could route everything through the G-SCART, everything into this, and then one connector, you could just switch the inputs on the Tink 4K to whatever signal that you're looking for.
You just gave me exactly the solution I need because I don't have a G comp switch. I have the G SCART switch. And at the beginning of my RGB journey, I bought everything SCART. I have all the SCART cables from Retro Gaming Cables in the UK, several from Insurrection Industries, which makes amazing cables as well.
Yep,
And
definitely.
I have a few of the component cables from you so lovingly refer to them as HD rectals.
Yes.
So, so the solution you just showed me is what I need to get.
So I am now on the other side of the room, forgetting that I don't have multiple SNES power supplies anymore. So I have to crawl under my setup to get that out. Always fun. But once I grab that PSU, I'll get the SNES, and I'm gonna do a first test shot directly into it, just so we could have a comparison. Because no original console is going to be perfect, so it's you can't just expect zero interference 100% of the time. You're gonna have to have something to compare it to, and that's I unplugged the wrong thing. I did unplug the wrong thing. Yes. All right,
Let
here we
me
go.
let me check the chat while you're going there. Let's see. Oh, I just noticed you passed 60,000 subscribers.
Notice what? Sorry.
I just noticed you passed 60,000 subscribers.
Yeah, the Tink video did it. That was that video was a challenge to make in the time that I made it. Because while I've been testing it for a while, when I decided to actually make from the time I decided I really wanted to do this video before the expo was less than a week basically. So it was pretty crazy, to be honest with you. But that pushed me over the edge, and that was worth it because everybody that came up at the expo wanted to talk about it. There wasn't a single person that came over to the booth that wasn't like, all right, so the 4K, what do I need? Do I need it? Do I want, like, everybody was talking about it. So that was pretty cool.
I'll give you my personal props. That was an excellently made video. I watched it from top to bottom.
Thank you very much. It was funny too because in order to get that done, I reused a lot of footage that I think didn't matter. So, for example, when I showed the GBS control, rather than take out whatever GBS control I still have and take new footage of it, I just take the 4K footage I had when I did the GBS control video. And a whole bunch of people complained, like, why would you show that shot? Why did you show this? Why did you show that? And it's like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. This is not a video about GBS control. This isn't a video about cables. This is a video about the Tink. But you can't please them all, I guess.
My wife is calling, not realizing that I'm on stream, even though I told her I was on stream. So you know what? Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna break all rules. Hello, I'm on stream.
Well, technically, that's one of your coworker business partners. So there you go.
Oh, she hung up. I'm just gonna say it was okay.
All right, I should have shown
I
this
love doing impromptu stuff like that. It's all good.
fresh set of rectals I just bought from Rondo because
Which
I
one?
have
Oh,
permanently embedded
nice.
mine in my setup. Castlemania is now Rondo, by the way. Long
Yes.
story. I'm sure Ryan and I will talk about that on a stream one day. But same store, same people. All the links on RetroRGB are updated. So
Which ironically enough, we started talking, but he's been so busy, so I'm not holding any grudge against him. I know he is slammed with the whole changeover. We
yeah.
started talking so I could do some stuff for him, but he has not gotten back to me. So if he hears the video, if he listens, like, hey Ryan, hit me up, please.
All right. So let's see if this kills the stream. Uh, yeah.
Oh, for a second time?
All right. Here we go. I am unplugging the camera. I'm going to talk through this just to see, and then I am
No, you're
plugging it
good.
into the Tink 4K, and we will see what comes up, if anything at all. I should power on the Tink if I'm going to be doing this. That would have made a bit more sense, I think. But are we powered on and ready? I believe we're getting powered on. What else we got?
Seem to be good so far.
Here we go. Okay, okay, okay. That's good. So menu. Put.
Well, since you're showing off your Super Nintendo, and we were talking about Retro Gamer Store earlier, I will show off mine. This is the smoked one, an absolute beauty how it came out.
Oh wow, yeah, that is great.
And Ben did this one as well. He actually did Voltar's. You should be able to see it right there. Can you see the red?
Yes, I can see it. The board that you added onto it. Yep.
Exactly. So he did Voltar's mod there. He added some cool LEDs. He made the shell swap for me, even though obviously I could have done that part. But I was like, you know what? If he's gonna do it, I'll let him do all. And he did the multi-out for me on the back, so I'm using that with the component multi-out cable directly into the 5X.
Mm, that is pretty awesome.
And then,
Is this the SNES one chip? Yes, this is 100% stock. I never did anything to this one. I also think it actually makes for a pretty good comparison for stuff like this. Okay, so I'm just going to pause the game right here. And that's how we're going to be testing from here on out. I'm going to also open the Rec Central software so I can get screenshots. Anybody that watched that video yesterday already understands why. It is a one chip 01. All right, so we're going to go into profiles. FBX is going to be mad at me because these are a week old, and he already spent a long time dialing in the other ones, but
oh my god, I saw his new ones.
kind of crazy, right?
This one I got to give a props because to what he has gone through and what he's come back from to do all this amazing work.
Yeah,
That guy is a beast.
yes, 100% agree.
So absolutely amazing the work that he's cranked out for this. I cannot wait for the finals.
I mean, just the fact that this thing is launching with FBX profiles is a holy shit moment. So,
Yep.
okay, so this is perfect because what you're going to see, let me drop this in just so you all could see it then. Well,
Looks
let me
so
rename this
freaking
first. Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
so my
So
go ahead,
what
go ahead.
you're, let
Sorry.
me stretch this over here. So what you're seeing right here is if you see the diagonal interference, this is connected directly into the Tink. This is probably a result of either that component video converter or just the fact that it's a completely stock console. So, a very quick aside here, when I used to talk about why anybody would want to do an SNES one chip bypass when it already outputs RGB, I would always start with you don't need to. Absolutely not. It's sharp, it's beautiful. But now that we're getting into 4K scaling, here's the type of reason where you might want to end up doing the bypass because it's only 1% difference, but you actually start to notice that. So let me, I'm going to leave this up to not kill the stream, but I'm going to add the other cable in now. So that way I could add this to the mix and we'll test it with and without another thing plugged into it. So we could really give a full um, demo of what to expect. So, and
I mean,
even
we don't
though I'm
even
not doing an
have
audio test, I'm also plugging the audio left and right in as well. Just because why not have all conductors running at the same time? Every cable that I'm using is HD Retrovision, every single one, so it will. So these are all as shielded as it gets, so that won't be a factor. And if you're new to the channel and you don't believe me, go watch all of the videos that I did proving that these things are great. So
I
okay.
will back that up 100% because my multi-out component cable is also from HDR.
Okay, so
I
we're
mean,
back.
honestly, I didn't know because I have mine. Obviously, like I said, it was modded, and I have mine running through the 5X. The way yours looks, I mean, I didn't think things could get even 10% better, but holy shish!
Okay, so let me put the image back up. So this is the first one. This is direct. Now let me put it. This is the one that has been run through the switch, and it looks pretty much identical. I can't see a
Mhm.
difference. I'll switch it back now just to see. All right, so what I did notice is the interference moved, which is that reflects what you get with video signals. So it just means that I'm getting correct captures. It's just no difference, which is a good thing. So now I'm going to slap in. Here we go. Let me get a Nomad and the Genesis 2 cables, and final test to see if this thing adds interference. And if not, 20 bucks. It's perfect for people that only have three component sources. Perfect for people who just want something to start out, but we don't know yet. Fingers crossed. And then after this, another shirt.
Wayne is asking, what port on the component switch do you have this on?
So I showed that right before. I'll show it again after we're done with the capture. But the way I'm doing this, the output signals are going to be surrounded by signals. I'll show you what I mean
Uh,
as soon as I'm done with it. But that should be able to give you a description of or like a visualization. Um, Also, what's going to be pretty funny is I'm going to switch between two sources just to show the switch working. And what you're going to end up seeing is you're going to see, so this is Firebrand X custom profiles for SNES. And now here's Firebrand X custom profiles for SNES on Genesis. Obviously, it's terrible. You wouldn't want to do that. So, out of curiosity, so that's pretty fuzzy, and yeah, that's because of the custom profile. But that's just to show you that the Genesis is working on the other one, and I'll flip back by the way when we're done just to show the difference. So here's the final test. Um,
and that shows just how different these consoles were. Plugging them into a regular TV, most people would be like, "Oh, it's the same thing to me," but
yeah.
not at all.
All right, so that image is back up. That's the direct into the switch, and here it is with another source powered on, and the interference is in a different place, but it's equal to. It's not added. So if you, I don't, let me see if I can zoom in even more for you all, just so we could kind of watch this together. But if you see how the lines, the diagonal lines are across the screen, let me switch the image
Yeah,
again
that's
back
yeah,
to
I can see the
direct.
checkerboard.
So as you can see, it just changed and
Hmm.
it's barely any different. So that's excellent. That just means that it's working correctly. So funny, let's just go back. Here is that. Now let me just load default, switch the input. Looks great.
Nice.
That's how dialed in specifically to each individual console FBX does it. I mean, that's a pretty huge that's a pretty huge deal. Hey Dan, thank you so much for the super chat. Much appreciated. That's and it helps keeping these things going. So always appreciate a good super chat. Oh, by the way, the other thing that we could do too, I just wanted to show because I was asking, or couple of people were asking about it. So here, if you don't, for whatever reason, if you don't have the ability to do Firebrand X profiles, go in here. No, not freeform, proportional. There we go. We'll zoom this to a 10x scale, my favorite. So turn that stuff off, and then let's get the game going, and we could see the overscan, see what's left there. Oh, that's actually kind of perfect. But
That is beautiful.
so let me leave it paused. Let me move. All right, well, this completely defeated the purpose because this is already centered perfectly. But let's just pretend for a second that it isn't. While Mike might be adding other controls to this, let's say I wanted to move it up. So top trim, -3, bottom trim, +3. Um, it stays at the proportional 10x scale, and that's the easy way to move it up while cropping. And I think Mike's going to look into other ways of centering and moving the image around. But if it's my very strong opinion that that's not necessary for launch day. So if you get this at launch day and Mike hasn't changed it, that's how easy it is to move stuff around, but while being guaranteed to keep your original scale. Because we could change it, but it's no longer 10x scaling. So I
Yeah.
think the reason he did that was all for the right reasons. Now you could actually see right on here and see what all this stuff is. And once again, too, if you're watching that, that's because we're in triple buffer mode. Watch the video if you want to see what the real lag is. But okay. Hey, Gingy
Pixel
too. Thank you so much for the super chat. That is really appreciated. Thank you. Um,
8-bit. So I didn't mean to be rude. I apologize because I was laughing because I was reading this while you were talking. 8-bit's asking if you took your shirt off yet.
no, I if you want to see it, Roger, you got to pay. These moves aren't getting slung out for free. You have a
Oh,
worthwhile. I'm kidding. I don't want to have my moves out on stream. It's not. I don't think that'd be good for anybody.
oh wow! He just threw it down. He's like, it's a truffle shuffle.
That's funny. All right. I think I got okay, good, good. Let me put you back up over here for a second. So this is what I was saying before about how I have it surrounded. This is the output cable right here. So on every side of this are two things being input and on at the same time. Obviously, you see the power button there. That's why I wanted to switch in real time between them. So we surrounded those signals, and we didn't get any interference. So that is why I think this thing is going to be a good buy for 20 bucks. It's never going to replace your G comp. It's a manual push button switch. It only has 3 inputs, but it doesn't ruin your signal, and it's 20 bucks. And it's metal too, which is it's kind of a good thing that you could put some double-sided tape, stick this in its place, whatever you got to do. But for 20
Complain
bucks,
about
that's a huge win in my opinion. All right. So I will do another shirt swap in a second. I just got to decide what we're actually working on next, because there was a pile of things that I wanted to do, and I just wasn't sure if anybody was going to care, to be honest with you. But I always do that. I always have that like imposter syndrome. Like I'm going to do a live stream, and there's going to be 4 people, and they're all going to tell me that my shit's boring and I should stop doing live streams. And every time I do it, y'all are just awesome to hang out with, and a lot of just fun, and these blow by really quickly. So. Thank you.
Okay, so you asked Bob, and Raj delivered. He just threw down the $20 super chat. Oh man,
Oh,
he wants to see the
okay.
mams. He wants to see them.
All right. Let me clean this up.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Let me go. I just need to pick something up over here. Oh, excuse me. Oh, I seem to have dropped that. I don't even know if that came out on video.
A little bit, a little bit.
Show me the mams. I'll get in it. I'll get in it. Back this up so I can get more shots of the shirt here.
Roger gets
Autofocus.
to see the type of quality that that I'm doing for you. Actually, even though he had gotten one of the Mike shirts as well.
Let me move you over here for a moment.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So this was the shirt that I was on.
Scart shirt.
Yep, absolutely. And then that had the very cool logo right on the side. I thought that was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing on the back of this one, but nothing on the back here either. And
Oh Lord.
let's pop out.
I mean, should I show off the back?
Hold on, hold on. So here is another one. So this is very similar to the other one. I'm holding my mic this time so it doesn't pull down on the shirt and misrepresent it. So this is very similar to the other one. This is a slightly different material, which I think that's something you should talk about after I'm done modeling this one. Because the shirts, they all feel great, but the material is a little different from the two types. But this is very cool. This is there's no what do you call the vinyl material that you put on it?
It's not vinyl actually. That's a print. That is a print. We
Ah.
don't cut that out of vinyl.
Well, this
We
has less
own
of
the
that,
full print.
so it is a tiny bit softer in the titties, because there isn't that on there. The other one wasn't uncomfortable. I'm just trying to describe what this is
Yeah.
like. But this shirt has, nothing on the sides, but this does have something that I thought was pretty damn cool. Can you
Look
all
at
see that?
that.
Hold on, let me turn up the ISO so you can actually see what this is.
There was somebody asking about BNC connectors. There you go.
Here, how about that? We back it up right here.
The back of the
Is
PVM.
that focusing at all? Probably not. Let me up just there. Set to autofocus. Try that.
There you go. Look at that. Down to the grill and everything.
That was very, very cool. I really liked this one because that's one of these things where when I was walking around the expo, I definitely got a couple of double takes where like I was walking somewhere and somebody was like, "Hey Bob," and I'd turn around and you could tell somebody was looking at that like, "Is that the back of a PVM?" And then I turn around and they're like, "Well, shit, that is the back of a PVM." That was pretty cool, right?
And like someone just asked in the chat, Monty G, does it have the SDI connection? Yes, it does. We went for full accuracy. It does have the SDI connection.
Let me back it up here. Wait a minute. Hold on. I got an idea. Camera mount light. 99% of the time, never mounted to a camera. About this.
There you go. Yeah, it's a little bit better.
Sort of, kind of, a little bit better, but you see, it's got everything on there.
It even has the arrows showing where to unscrew.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
I guess I give myself a little pat on the back for that one. I did pretty good on that one.
Eli, Eli just pointed out something that I always kind of laugh at. So Eli said, the truth. You guys have a cool ass job. I wish I could do this kind of stuff at 1 p.m. on a Friday. I agree. I have an amazing job. I'm so very lucky to be able to do this. But what you're not seeing when I do this is that I was up at 5 a.m. and I'm going to be working till 8:30 p.m. in order to make sure the stream continues to happen properly. So, or to make sure the work continues to happen. So yes, I love what I do, but it's I do
Yes.
I do kind of giggle when some people think that my job is literally like flip on a camera, talk about stuff. They're like, it's a half-hour podcast, so it took like 40 minutes total, right? Like, no,
More like 4 hours.
that's not how it worked. But
Yes.
I'm not making fun of
I
you,
do.
Eli. By the way, I'm not making fun of you. I'm just kind of I'm agreeing with you and just kind of making conversation. I don't want anybody to feel singled out here, unless they're being douchebags, and then they're getting singled out. But Eli, that is not you. You were not being like that.
No, and it's true. I will have to agree 1000%. I feel very blessed to do the work that I'm able to do, being able to create and design and have fun doing this stuff, for so many different people, including yourself. It's a blessing, to be able to, I mean, not to put any type of work down because, most of us in this lifetime have to work. So, when I reflect on what I'm able to do, what you're able to do, that we can do this sort of thing and, have other people compensate us for it, it's awesome. I love creating all these designs and shirts and stuff for everybody. Not just that, I do a lot more than that, but it's a fun thing.
Yeah, agreed. This is pretty awesome. It is. It's funny you mentioned about the creativity part because when I had that job where I got to travel all over the place, um, I still played guitar, but it wasn't really a main focus, and I didn't really need that much of a creative outlet because I got to design computers and accessories and stuff for a living. So I got the creative and the nerdy side out. And then as soon as I switched jobs to something else, it was a whole lot of click and wait. And that's why I lasted about a week. And I was like, I think week 2, I digitized all of my old family's VHS tapes, which is, or camcorder, which I just found out I could have done a better job of. So I'll have to do that all over again. And then like week 3, I started RetroRGB because I needed some, and the band, because I needed some kind of outlet. And I never realized how important the creative side of stuff was to me until I until I stopped doing it, basically.
Yep. Hey, it's that sort of brain activity that'll keep the dementia away as we get older.
True, true. Okay, so we did the Famicom thing. We did the NES thing. That was the power buttons looked awesome, but that was kind of a fail because that NES is still glitching out. Which is so frustrating. And then let me see what else. So we have a couple of other things we could do. We could turn this box into a case for the spinner. I love stupid stuff like that.
Is that the same spinner that no Retro's using? Not using that. I don't even know actually.
That's the one Robert Dale Smith was using for a lot of testing. Thanks for swinging by, Roger. Appreciate the super chat. How do you ship overseas? And
Yeah,
is it
that
crazy
I was.
shipping prices or not?
Yeah, I was just responding to Pixel Quick. So obviously, we know that shipping is a little crazy when shipping to Europe and some other places. When we launched our artisticpixels305.com, we've anytime someone sees any shipping that's exorbitant, we immediately say, please send a DM on the Twitter or send an email to info@artisticpixels305.com. It's probably faster on through Twitter because I'm always on there. But we've gone because shipping, just using default settings for shipping is very bad. So we've gone into individual regions/countries, and we've modified the settings to make the shipping reasonable, or to make it more accurate to what it should be. So we, like, for example, we went there was a shipment that we actually did to South Korea, where originally the guy texted the guy sent me a DM, the shipping was like $105 or something. I don't know, something crazy. So we fixed that. The shipping only ended up being like $18, I think, or $20. For the UK, and there was, I think I sent to Denmark, again, France. We've fixed all of those individually. So much better now. So yes, if you see, for anyone listening, if you see any issues, please just let us know.
Is this focusing?
No, but you might want to move the window so people can actually see you.
Yeah. Let me try it over here. What about this? I don't understand. Come on, autofocus. Fancy ass camera, you can't autofocus? Try this. There we go.
There you go. Oh, look at that. That is sharp.
So, are you doing the lid for production ones?
So yours is the prototype, because it's a process that we've been playing with. Yeah, I don't know if it'll you might need to move it back just a tiny little bit. Oh, there you go. Now it's coming in. Yours is a process that we started doing and we're slowly perfecting, because there's no way we want to ship anything that's even 2% bad. So on yours, there were a couple of parts that came out a little messed up. On the front, the top, that print's perfect. And yours, we actually did a dual layer where it's a print on top of a flock, so it comes out, so it pops even more. But the lid, that's something that we want to perfect before even showing it on the site.
This was the other one too, which I just think this is the funniest shit on the planet.
Oh, that one. Yeah, that one is awesome.
Let me see if I can get this in focus right now, because I laughed so
The
freaking
lag
hard.
is real.
Yeah, that cracked me up. Art, I hope you see this, buddy. That is just too cool. And on the bottom side of this was
Yes, that one came out perfect.
the RGB
That one we
files
did
with the
do in
retro
production.
Illuminati. That is amazing. Trust no one. Yeah, this was great. A bunch of people were asking for trucker hats. I left the cardboard in these, by the way, when I was putting them on. My head isn't that freaking square. I just wanted to keep it. I just wanted to keep it nice and fresh. That was pretty cool. I was saying before how I'm proud to wear my own merch, but I think wearing my hat and my shirt at the same time would be a step just too far for me. That's where I'd be like, you know what? I think I'm gonna just wear the shirt. um, so I think I'm gonna move on to just try to do this because I have to do it, and I like hanging out with everybody, and I think this would just be a fun thing to do. But if somebody has something else they wanted me to test, if somebody's on the stream and I have one of your